graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised.
You know, I've been from one side of this fandom to the other. In all that time, I have seen a lot of things. Above all that, there is one thing I am absolutely certain of. I am the villain of this story. You know what time it is, Valhalla? Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. It is Friday. Yeah, and I have one hell of a panel here for you today. We have got one half of Tag Team Valkyrie, Purple Valkyrie.
Good morning.
We have got the rooster in the hen house, Day Bob. And the one and only Reina Creole from the lunch table.
Good morning, everyone. So glad to be here.
And we are talking Christopher Nolan this morning. But before we do that, good morning, Wookiee Supremacy, Chris Persia, Samantha Joe, Dee Myers, Mary's Game Room, Terry Rose, Wendy Vega, Showback TJC, Humor and Waffles, Psychodorf 9, Terry Rose. I already said that, didn't I? Derek McManus. Lady Miss, the Guardian of the Void, is here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So let's talk Nolan. First time I ever saw one of his movies, and it would have to be Insomnia with
So Al Pacino, Robin Williams.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking Robin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not like a normal Robin Williams movie. This is a serial killer Robin Williams.
Something you would not expect from Robin.
No. No, him wandering around, not being able to sleep because the sun doesn't go down, acting like a complete maniac. Storyline was in Night Mute, Alaska, 17-year-old resident Kay Connell is found murdered as a favor to the local Night Mute police chief. Two Los Angeles robbery homicide police detectives, Will Dormer and Hap Eckhart, are called in to assist in the investigation. Although renowned in the police world, both Dormer and Eckhart are facing some professional issues back in Los Angeles. In Night Mute, Dormer has a major case of insomnia due to a combination of incessant midnight sun and from a secret he is carrying. Insomnia is causing him to be delusional. Something he is not dreaming about is that the murderer has contacted him, informing him all about the murder and the fact that he knows everything that is going on with Dormer. Yeah. And Robin Williams is absolutely insane.
He really is. I actually love it when Robin Williams plays the darker roles, both in this and in was it 1 Hour Photo that he did as well?
Yes. Yeah, and that
Yeah.
was another one that you're just like, oh.
Because, as you said, it's just such a you don't expect it from Robin Williams. You think of him, he's the funny guy, he's the genie, he's Mrs. Doubtfire, but I actually love him when he got to play the dark.
And Mexican Iron Man with the drive-by fruiting of a $9.99 super chat. I want a Loki 18-hour stream to keep me company on my Friday 18-hour workday. Let's do this. Thank you so very much, Mexican Iron Man. I don't know if I could stream 18 hours. We did 10 when we did the DC fandom event. Thank you, brother. You guys keep the fires burning bright in Valhalla. Thank you. 1 hour photo clicked with so many people. I it's weird. He had all those pictures on the wall in that movie. We're not going to get too far away from Chris Nolan. I was at the mall and in like one of the walking around the mall one day, and there was one of those photoshops, and you could see in through the glass and watch the pictures develop, right? And that, man, there were some freaky ass pictures. Some people. Let me tell you something.
That's old school back then. People used to do that. Of course, I grew up with that. I'm kind of that generation.
I forget. I forget what movie it is. I think it's Summer School, where the two guys are in the photo booth and they're going through people's photos. And it was one of those moments where they were like, oh, look at the breakfast composition. Look at the way he has the table set. Look at the triangular bush. The man is an artist. And yeah, it was one of those sets of pictures. And people are like, what is Loki talking about? Nothing. Let's move on.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. So what do you guys think about the first Batman movie, Batman Begins?
Well, wasn't my favorite, but it was, I don't know, the start of a very dark Batman, that's for sure.
I've got to admit, I kind of liked it. I might say Insomnia was probably the first of his films that I saw, but it was really Batman Begins that kind of brought him onto my radar. And Christopher Nolan has a tendency to use a lot of the same people in all of his films. So once you've seen a cast in one of the films, you notice that he uses them a lot. So a lot of his Batman cast obviously was used again in Inception, and that was kind of cool to see. But this first Batman, like Dave Bob said, it was such a change from what we'd had before, because before we had Batman Forever, and then we had Batman and Robin. Both really campy.
Really, the Batman, with oh heck, God dang, I can't remember his name. Mr. Mom, whatever.
Michael Keaton.
Original Batman, 89 Batman.
Yeah. I didn't watch Christopher Nolan's first Batman movie. I think it was mostly because I think I was burned out from watching Batman and Robin. I just didn't want to see another. That was so freaking awful. And I didn't really know who Christian Bale was at the time. I just said, you know what, I'll just tap out for now. So that's pretty much what I did and skipped it.
I did the same thing. I did the same thing until it came out on video. And I'm at the time I was such a big Liam Neeson fan that I was like, you know what? I'll rent it. Yes, people used to do that back in the day. These places.
Yeah. I remember when Netflix used to send you those DVDs through the mail.
Yep. They still do. You can get on that program still. But yeah, or at least you could before the coof. I don't know about now. I don't know if they still do that. We alcohol swab all the discs when we get them back now. I guess I don't know, but yeah, there was a rental place, and I went and rented it and watched it. And I was surprised. I liked it. I like Liam Neeson. I did not like the whole where are the other drugs? But everybody's got their thing, and people have like talked this to death. Was that a good thing or was that a bad thing? And I remember listening to Jeremy over at Geeks and Gamers talk about how the people that bring that up as like a negative, they can go F themselves because it's just the way he did it. And I don't know, that was just it was weird. Okay. I really liked the Bruce Wayne though. I really liked him as Bruce Wayne. I liked this story. I liked the way they set it up. I love the ninja thing, the nanoparbot ninja thing. I like Liam Neeson as oh my god, I can't. Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul, however the hell you say it. That's another camp that's like completely divided. It's Ra's, it's Ra's, it's Ra's, it's Ra's, it's Ra's, it's Ra's.
I agree, and I loved Michael Caine as Alfred.
Oh yeah, Michael
Caine.
Great. He's a class act in anything.
And it was Cillian Murphy as well, wasn't it? He played Scarecrow.
Yes.
He kind of surprised me because that I didn't think was going to work, but he kind of made it work.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm like one of those people that was like, what the hell? But I didn't like Katie Holmes in that movie.
I liked her better than Gyllenhaal.
Oh, he's got a point.
Yeah, true.
I'd wipe that chick from my memory. It was so bad.
Gary Oldman is a young Jim Gordon before he becomes commissioner. I was like, yeah,
I like that.
That'll do, pig. That'll do. I was like, yeah, all right, you got Gary Oldman in there.
Yeah, I think Christopher Nolan really seemed to have done his homework though when it came to the comics, because there was a lot of Batman Year One that was kind of the Long Halloween that I kind of saw in it. He definitely kind of steered away from what had gone before, as Lorena was saying, for Batman and Robin.
Oh Lord, it's a painful movie.
He almost flipped it on his head.
Holy metal, Batman. No, really. Holy metal. I'm like, no.
Holy rusted metal, Batman. What? Ground is full of holes. It's holy. They did not just do that.
Yeah. That worked for the campy 60s live action series, but not this.
Yeah.
Just didn't like the back record.
It's the car. Chicks dig the car. What about Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox versus Rutger Hauer?
I like Morgan Freeman in anything he does.
That was cool to see.
Morgan Freeman, he's just such a class act anyway.
Mm-hmm.
He is, bless him. I do think they actually did really well. I think, obviously, with what came after, because everybody seems to love Dark Knight. I think it was a really good kind of springboard. Not everybody loves Batman Begins, but I think what we got after was worth it.
Oh yeah. That I went and saw in the theater.
Yeah, just the fact that Heath Ledger was in that next one, that's what made that movie.
So are we moving on to The Dark Knight?
No, I think there's one in between there.
There is, yeah. Before that, he did The Prestige.
Yeah, and I enjoyed that movie, but man, that was a mind screw.
It was. I was pleasantly surprised by that.
Yeah. Of course, Scarlett Johansson being in it wasn't, the most terrible thing either.
Not mad at you, Dave Bob.
So you got Wolverine, Batman, and Black Widow, and that's something. And Alfred.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
And
he tends to like to cast the same people.
David Bowie, Andy Serkis. Wow. I guess I missed this.
You didn't see the Prestige?
I didn't see the Prestige. No, I guess I missed this.
Man, you need to watch that. You really do. That movie right there it's a twist. It's not like it's quite as twisted as Inception, but the Prestige will definitely mess with your brain.
It's more like I didn't set out to watch the Prestige. My sister had rented it, and I was like, I don't freaking care about this movie. And then I got sucked in, and the twist reminds me of The Sixth Sense.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of on that level.
I see dead people. I breathe. I breathe fog. I was like, why is that little kid breathing fog? Oh, yeah, okay. Mary's Game Room. What? The Prestige is so good. I will watch it. That's one of the great things about doing this is if I have missed something great, this gives me the opportunity to be like, really? It was really good? Okay, I'll go check it out.
You're in for a treat. You're in for a treat.
I definitely have been disappointed lately. I went and saw. I watched Coming to America 2.
Oh God!
Terrible.
Terrible.
I couldn't watch it. I stopped watching it after about 30 minutes.
That was 10 minutes too long.
Is it really as bad as people say?
Yes, Purple. It is so awful. It's just it's an embarrassment. I felt bad for Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall and James Earl Jones and all the original actors. It was just so bad. So I tell people, you have to watch it. Only watch the first 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And when the party's over, shut it off.
How Leslie Jones got in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. Nope.
I can't even review it. It's so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. The barbershop scene made me smile, but that's I actually did that scene back in my first year of college with a group of fellow actors on the stage. I love
classic
that
scene.
Yeah, I love that scene. I absolutely love that scene. But we're getting off. So yeah. No, I missed it. The Prestige 2006.
It is, as everyone's saying, it is a great film, and it's quite slow paced, I found, but it's not one of those that you kind of want the plot to hurry up. You're fine with it being a mystery. You can just sit back and kind of enjoy and let it unravel.
Badass. Good grief, Loki the Man only made 8 movies. Go watch them. I've seen almost all of them.
He's got a point.
I've seen almost all of them. I'm sorry I missed one. But the next one, Dark Knight, it's the perfect Batman movie. And, I would have to tell all of you that are telling me, oh my God, how could you have missed it? I must say, why so serious?
Why so serious?
Oh my gosh, that was just the introduction of that incarnation of the Joker. I was floored. I didn't see The Dark Knight in theaters. But when people started to come back and tell me how good it was, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll see it. And I got it on DVD and watched it, and I was just mesmerized.
Kicking yourself, you didn't go see it in the theater?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That opening scene where they're on the zip ties, or the zip lines, I had to go back zip ties. It's not a sandwich bag, Loki. I had to go back and watch that in the IMAX. I saw that movie 3 times. I saw it at the local cinema where I was living. I went back and saw it at the IMAX. And then I think I went on a date. I'm not 100% sure. I think I went on a date and took someone with me to see it again. But I remember I saw it 3 times. So the middle time was in the IMAX because I wanted to see it. I wanted to see that opening scene in the IMAX of them on the zip lines.
Yeah. Well, it was definitely the best of the 3. That movie right there kicked ass in it ticked every box on Batman. That movie was just great.
It really was. I saw it in IMAX as well, and it's probably top 3 best films I've seen in the cinema. I had such a great time. I saw it with friends. I saw it solo as well, and I had fun both times because it is such a good film. Like you said, the cast is brilliant, and when I first heard that Heath Ledger was going to be the Joker, I was really skeptical because I'd only known him from kind of like teen comedies. I was like, there's no way that Heath Ledger can pull off being the Joker. Wow, was I wrong?
I love that scene at the hospital when he was walking away and actually the explosives didn't go off and they just kept rolling that scene, and the way it played out was it was perfect.
It was. And he kind of took the character and just made it was something his own. You know, he didn't seem to have based it on anything that had gone before. You know, I think he really kind of got into. People say he got into the head of the Joker. You know, and there's different stories about how deep he went and whether or not he actually kind of shut himself away to kind of develop this character. But whatever he did, he brought it to the film.
Oh yeah.
The rest of the cast was great as well.
Yeah.
But Heath really shone.
It was inspired, that's for sure. That's probably the best role he's ever done.
You know, Michael White played Gamble in that movie. And I remember seeing an interview with him where he talked about the rumors that Heath had like locked himself up and put him, you know, that he was like going through this huge dark time. And he was like, no, that's complete horseshit, because he said he'd do these dark scenes and then just start like laughing with the cast, and he hung out with the cast. He said this was the most easygoing set, because everybody was talking to Nolan. People would be, you know, he walked up and he said, well, what in this scene, what if I don't do this? What if I do this? And he said Nolan was completely open to talking to you about your part. Didn't matter who you were. Didn't matter whether you were Heath Ledger. Didn't matter whether you had a bit role in it. The set was so relaxed and so easygoing. And he said a lot of that had to do with Ledger being this happy part of the cast. Ledger would talk to anybody. Like, again, just like Nolan, it didn't matter whether you were the smallest bit part or you had a huge part. He'd talk with you and hang out with you and have a good time. He said the scene that they were in where he breaks the pool cue and throws it out there, like, you know, you guys Mortal Kombat it out and whoever's left over gets to live. That they were joking the whole time they were doing that. Not once did Heath ever like act like he was upset about anything or in danger or in a dark place. He was the brightest part of the room, no matter what scene he was filming.
Yeah, that I believe, because I've seen films where he's skateboarding whilst wearing the Joker costume and just having fun on set. When I heard, like you say, that the stories that he'd locked himself away and that he was, going through something terrible, I was like, but that's not what we saw. He was having a fun time, and his family were there with him as well, if I remember correctly.
Well, people have got to, try to think that, something had to have been bad happening, going on and everything. Sometimes, stuff like that just happens.
In Project Storytime, my sister and I were getting mad when he told the first Scar scene. We don't want to have feels for the Joker. Then when the second Scar scene happened and it was different, we were totally on board. Yeah. He's just talking shit.
Mm-hmm.
He was good at that, that's for sure.
Yeah, he was just talking shit. He was just, let me tell you a story.
It was so freaking creepy.
It'll change every time I tell it.
Why so serious? He is Mags. He is missed. I had watched him. I liked him in 10 Things I Hate About You. I really did. I remember seeing the commercials for that movie, and they were like, "Oh, he killed a guy, and oh, he was this," and I was like, "Oh, they're gonna do it like that. Like he's like some kind of like everyone's scared of him," and I wanted to see it. It sounded funny. And I think that was the first thing I saw him. And then I saw him in A Knight's Tale. And I was like, dude, I like this. While everybody was running around like a chicken with their head cut off saying, there's no rock and roll in old-timey night movies. Well, no one said they can't do that. They just never have.
I liked it. Definitely a different type of movie that I enjoyed.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't get any like what if they went back and believe it or not, there was I think it was Guns N' Roses. I think it was anyway. You've got to understand this was a long time ago for Loki. This is when they still had cassettes and people still bought music on cassettes. I remember Excalibur, muting Excalibur on the TV and playing the soundtrack. Or this cassette. And I think it was Guns N' Roses. It might have been Queen, but I think it was Guns N' Roses. And it was the scene where they're like charging once the king's been restored by the Holy Grail.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, who says you can't have rock and roll? In an old movie like that. No, everybody tripped out about it at the time, but I don't know. I liked it.
I liked it. Like you say, it was different.
Wookiee Supremacy hated that movie. Stupid. River Phoenix was badass. I agree. River Phoenix was badass. I don't know about, picking between the two. I'd rather have them both back. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have them both back. I was a huge River Phoenix fan when I was a kid because he was a kid when I first saw him, he was in, what was it? Explorers?
Yeah. He's going to forever be a kid in my mind.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I remember seeing him in Sneakers after he died. He was in a movie called Sneakers that has a lot of really good people in it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't name them all at the moment, but yeah.
And Stand By Me. Yeah.
Wookie, was that mean? Oh, you can be mean. By all means, be mean.
Just don't tear our arms off.
I like, yeah, Wookiees are known to do that. Young Indy, he was great in Young Indy. Yeah, he was great as Young Indy. But did you guys expect what Dark Knight was going to do?
I did not expect the Joker. That right there blew me away.
Mm-hmm. I think it raised the bar for superhero films. I think they were very smart with the marketing campaign as well, because Dark Knight was everywhere. Everywhere you looked, there were, advertisements for it, and then there was word of mouth when people went to see it, and they were telling you how good it is. And it was made to utilize the IMAX, and that's why it's so much fun to watch. But also, obviously, because of what happened with Heath, it's got that kind of morbid curiosity attached to it that people, although technically he did do another part after this was his last main acting role, and he kind of went out on a high.
Yeah, they had the Dr. Parnassium?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But he wasn't, yeah, it was like he had done part of that, and other people stepped in to finish that movie for him, and I'm really glad they did. And I remember some things being talked about the end of Batman that wasn't what was it? It was give me just a second to look up the he is uncredited, but it was Christian Slater hanging upside down at the end of Dark Knight when Batman has him hanging upside down and he's talking to him. That was actually Christian Slater filling in with no credit. No credit to it because of what he. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't think that's true because they've talked about the fact that movie was completely done. But there can always be rewrites. But I think people were rumoring stuff because they thought he'd come back, and he was going to come back. He was going to be in the last movie. That scene where you see the Scarecrow as the judge, that was not going to be the Scarecrow. That was going to be the Joker tending court in his judge's robes and the white hairpiece. I would have laughed my ass off. Yeah, the powdered wig, and the judge's robes. And straight out of a comic book. Yeah.
And Batman animated series. Yeah. It was done there as well.
Yes, it was. And Psychodorf 9 with a $5 super chat. I spent too much time reenacting, just couldn't get behind A Knight's Tale. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You could tell me you completely hated the movie and it was a shit movie. And I'd still be like, that's totally cool. It's your opinion. Psychodorf 9. Thank you so very much for that $5 super chat. Psychodorf, score!
Oh!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
Mr. Tickle Trunk with a $2 Canadian super sticker, and it's a Yorkie, a little Yorkie, farting hearts. Thank you so very much, Mr. Tickle Trunk, for that $2 Canadian super chat. Score!
Oh!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
And Wookiee Supremacy. It was a shit movie, Loki. Oh, shit. Spend the naked Nordic ninja. You have been weighed. You have been measured. And you have been found wanting. A person can change their stars. I don't know. I liked it. The music was interesting. There was a couple of people that made fun of the Nike thing. I think that was fine.
Well, you just got to remember one thing. That movie was not made in seriousness. That movie was more of a kind of a spoof. I mean, it was a fun movie. It wasn't, I mean,
Yes.
the Nike symbol on the armor and everything else. It's just modern times in the olden days.
Yeah, you're right. At no point were they going for a serious film. It's one of those films you can just turn your brain off and enjoy.
I tell you what, though, it did introduce me to a actor named Paul Bettany,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
who absolutely positively kicked ass as the announcer for Thatcher in that movie for Heath Ledger. I remember it was like it's kind of like watching ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble for the very first time. It's like seeing that for the very first time when he's introducing him. You know, he spent a year in silence just to appreciate the sound of a whisper. And you're like, holy shit, who is this guy and why have I never heard of him?
Yeah, the fact that he was playing Chelsea was just really, really silly.
And Alan Tudyk wanting to kill him all the time, like, I'm gonna kill him. It was just funny as shit.
I got to go back and rewatch that. It's been a long time.
Man, you know, you see some of these people in there, and you're like, damn, you know, oh man, I know him. Oh, I know him. Oh, he's so good in that. And,
Back when they were youngsters.
yeah, back when they were youngsters.
Okay, next film. What are we talking about?
Next film. What are we? We are talking about Inception.
Ooh.
Oh, no. Interstellar. No. It's Inception.
No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Inception. Inception is before Dark Knight Rises, which is to me the biggest low point on this list of everything.
But Inception, oh man, that film was a mind twist. Oh Lord have mercy.
You've got Leo, you've got Joseph Gordon-Levitt, you've got Elliot Page, you've got Tom Hardy, Ken Watanabe. Again, you've got a lot of people that are in his movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still wondering if that top is still spinning.
I've got to admit, I've watched this film probably twice, and both times I didn't really enjoy it that much. I kind of get what he was trying to do, and I can appreciate it for, you know, the special effects. I thought the casts were great. I just thought it was too kind of convoluted a story.
It definitely was so twisted that, you know, and coming back in on itself in so many points, I had to watch it the second time just to try to figure out what I watched the first time, and then I still didn't get it all.
I enjoyed parts of it. I've got to admit, like you said, the casts were really good. The dream sequences were brilliant. You know, especially the way that the city kind of folds in on itself, and then the streets kind of just all blow out. It's like being in a video game.
Mm-hmm.
So visually, it looked great. I don't know. I'm not sure where he was going with it. I think that's what it is.
Those twisty stairways just blew my mind. All that going around in circles and coming back on themselves and just hanging off in midair. And
Memento got a mention. Project Storytime. Memento got a mention. I think we mentioned it briefly as one of the movies in his repertoire. Just we didn't stop and focus on that.
No, Mementos was one of his early ones, and it's one that I haven't seen, I've got to admit. But since people keep bringing it up in the chat,
I could have swore I saw it at least once, or maybe I just saw it at the local Blockbuster. I don't know. I never picked it up. I don't know. I could have swore I watched it though, because I think I was married still when that movie came out, and I'm pretty sure she watched it.
I know for
She's
sure
a
I haven't watched it.
Schemer.
If the chat recommends it, I'll go back and watch it. I promise.
And Mary's Game Room. I think Memento is the only one. I haven't seen the British shorts. I don't know what British. It just says 16 British shorts. I'm like, I have no idea what that is. So I don't know. But yeah, Memento. I never watched Quay, a documentary short. I haven't seen Tenet yet, but Dark Knight Rises has got to be,
Biggest
to me,
disappointment.
the most controversial movie in this list, because there are people that are be like, The Darkness Rises, Batman, and then there are people who are like, that movie sucked.
Well, it didn't. It didn't suck. Bane was great in the movie. I mean, you can't argue with that character. That was a very, very inspired character too.
Yeah, I liked it for what it was, but I do think it's a step down from what we had before with The Dark Knight. But The Dark Knight was such a high; it would have been very hard to kind of top it. And like you're saying, I think if we had Heath Ledger back as the Joker, that would have helped. It's kind of put them both on the same level. I really did like Tom Hardy. I was a little bit skeptical to begin with, but again, he made a character his own. Didn't really like Anne Hathaway as Catwoman. Gotta admit,
No,
didn't do it for me.
I was about to say that Anne Hathaway was not, in my opinion, very conducive to being a Catwoman. I don't know.
It's funny you say that, Mags, that it divided a ton of people. I always thought they should have divided the movie. I think that you kind of get two different movies. You get the first movie, and then you get everything that happens after that. I honestly believe that movie should have ended with Bane breaking his back and him getting thrown into that prison, down into that prison, and then the war in Gotham and him coming back. I always thought that if they'd have split that instead of making that, because it's like you've got this great setup. Like they threw the ball up and they just gave him the perfect opportunity to slam dunk that ball. And then the last half of that movie is just like, ugh.
Yeah, they kind of mashed together Nightfall and No Man's Land storylines.
Yes.
Which was cool, but like you say, if they'd been that cut-off point between the two, I think they could have explored it a lot better, because I did kind of like the idea of Gotham being cut off from everywhere else. I've always liked that idea.
Yeah,
and just to see the criminals take over.
They destroyed the bridges, leaving, there's no way out of the city. It's Escape from New York.
Snake Plissken.
Escape from Gotham.
And I've got to admit, I wasn't too keen on Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
No.
Yeah. As Darkwing or whatever.
Except he never gets to be that. He never gets to be that. He never gets to do anything like that.
Well, they just kind of left that hanging.
Is he the new Batman? Is he going to be Robin? You're never going to know.
What did you guys think of the ending? Because a lot of people say that's not something that Batman or Bruce Wayne would have ever done to Alfred.
Yeah.
No.
I did not like the ending. I thought the ending sucked. I mean, was just something.
That's something. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying that's just something they did to make people feel better about the movie.
Oh, Loriana.
Yeah, I just
dude. As in Bocce?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead and tell everybody.
Okay, so I'll preface it a little bit by saying that when I lived in LA, I have the South African guy as a personal trainer. And he said, yeah, I just moved here from South Africa and, I'm doing personal training to kind of pay the bills while I find, an acting role. And then a couple weeks later, he tells me, yeah, I got this acting role in this Star Trek there's like a gate involved. I said, Stargate? He's like, yeah, that's it. I'm like, that's one of my favorite shows on TV. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be on there. I'm supposed to be playing some bad guy. That guy was Cliff Simon. And Joseph Malozzi just broke the news that Cliff Simon, he died in an accident yesterday.
Oh
my
man,
God.
that's terrible.
The wonderful guy who played Ball. That's just, man.
I'm like floored. Oh my God, I can't believe it.
What happened?
It looks like, according to Yahoo News, he died in some kind of accident.
Oh my gosh.
His wife said that he died after being involved in a kiteboarding accident at Topanga Beach in California earlier in the week. Yeah.
Man, he played that was my favorite villain in that whole series.
Yeah, that was a lot of people.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
About 40 different clones, but still,
he was freaking amazing. Oh my gosh.
Well, my heart goes out to his family.
Yeah, it's just, I know for me, this isn't like, it's not only just someone who was like a great actor on television.
You knew him.
This was somebody who, I knew before he even got on US television. He was like a personal trainer at the LA Fitness in Marina Del Rey. So, oh my gosh, this is heartbreaking. It really, it really is.
Whenever I saw anyone from Stargate Atlantis, I always wanted them to make it when I saw them in something else. Didn't matter who it was. When I saw them in something else, I wanted them to make it. And I remember seeing him. I'm trying to pull up his IMDb. Because I remember seeing him in something, a movie. Actor. Space Project Eden. I don't remember what it was though. Maybe it was TV. I don't know. I know he was in Continuum. Maybe it was in a TV show. I don't know. I could have swore it was in a movie though. Maybe I'm wrong. Because I'm looking at his filmography, and I maybe it was just another series. I don't know, but I remember seeing him in something, being like, man, I want to see him in more. I want to see him in more stuff. He was so good on Stargate. He was one of those people that you're just like, man, he was so good on Stargate. You wanted to see him in more stuff. You wanted to see him. You wanted to see his career take off.
Yeah, he was such a great art, such a cool person, too. If you saw him at conventions, it's like I think he was having more fun than the fans were.
Yeah.
He sounds like he was a really nice guy.
Yeah, he really was. And one of the things that he was extremely proud of was when he became a U.S. citizen. That was like one of the things that he was looking forward to doing the most. And when he became a citizen, he was so proud of it, because he would tell me about his life in South Africa, and how he'd come to America. Because he's just like, if I come to America, I have a chance, to really, really make it. And, and he was just proud to be here, proud to be a citizen, just proud to just reach out and, and connect to people. And he just couldn't believe it, himself. Because I would tell him about the show and tell him about the conventions and tell him about the fans that love the show. And he's kind of just looking like, is that, seriously and for real? And when I see him at conventions, he's like, yeah, you did tell me that. He didn't have like a big ego at all. He really didn't. And I think it had a lot to do with where he came from, and just realizing how fortunate and blessed he was that when he got to his country, how his career just like took off out of nowhere.
He stayed humble. He stayed who he was.
Very. Very. I honestly think he would have just been happy being a personal trainer, because he loved doing that. He loved doing that. I think just he took that, I guess, connecting with everyday people, and kept that with him as, his acting career took off.
Mr. Tickle Trunk, I love hearing that he was so into it at conventions. Speaks a lot to how much it meant to him. Yeah. You see some people like that. You see there are people that sit there and they almost seem annoyed that they're signing autographs, and you're like, come on, man, look what you get to do. I've talked about that on the show a couple of times. I know a couple of YouTubers that are big. They're big YouTubers that bitch about being YouTubers. And I'm like, how the hell can you bitch about doing this? How can you get aggravated about doing this? It's like the coolest thing you could do. This is the coolest thing you can do. I feel so honored that I get to do this every day, that people come to the show in the morning and hang out. And I know there are actors out there that they're just annoyed. They don't want to be there. They don't want to be around people. You see them at conventions and you're like, really, dude, really? You're going to sit there and act like pissy and be like, go get me a Avion, and have your little servant run off and get you an Avion and act like you're just annoyed at being here. When's my break?
Or better yet, forget that you're supposed to be at a convention like Michael Dorn did one year.
Really?
Oh, really? He was scheduled to be on stage at one of the biggest, and I forget the name of the convention, but it was like the big, huge annual Star Trek convention that was in California. And it was in Pasadena. And he was supposed to be on stage. They couldn't freaking find him. He was still at home. I said, that's the disrespect.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said, I think I literally said out loud, you've got to be freaking kidding me. I think I did say that. Because it's like you're a fan, and a lot of people would come to this convention from like across the country, from overseas, and you think about how much money you spent just to get there. And this may be the one and only chance you get to see these people. And it's not like someone got stuck in traffic. It's not like, their transportation broke down. It's not like they got sick. It's not like it was a family emergency. They just forgot and were at home and watching TV.
Hey, I will have to say I can relate to that. I've done stupid stuff like that before.
I was working full time as a truck driver, and I was going to school. I was taking a class load and a half. So I was working 60 hours a week and taking a full class load and a half in college to get my psychology degree. And I paid it was something like $400. It was for 2 tickets, but I paid about $400 to go see Pauly Shore at the Improv. And I know you're like, Pauly Shore, really? Well, back in the day, Weezer. Oh, I used to love Pauly Shore. So it was like this thing, took the wife and made plans, and you got someone to watch the kid, and we're sitting there and we're buying drinks out the ass because I'm like, nope, we're drinking, we're having a good time. And about an hour after the show was supposed to start, the guy comes out and he's like, yes, ding, 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 taps on the mic. He's like, Pauly Shore is having some stomach pains and will not be performing tonight. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Wow.
Really?
Oh.
I just had
$400. You better give me my $400 back.
I just finished a 60-hour work week. I'm tired, but I'm here. I've got exams this weekend, but I'm going to stay up all night to watch Pauly Shore. And I drove, 2 hours. I just spent, almost as much on the tickets as I did on drinks. And you guys didn't say anything. And now you're coming out and telling me that, well, he's got some stomach pains. He won't be performing tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
No.
Did you get reimbursed though?
I did. I got hell yeah. They were like, you can either we're gonna have a couple of young bucks come up and do some improv, and I'm like, no, come on, let's go. And I was like, I want my money back, bitches. I paid for Pauly Shore. I want Pauly Shore. Well, we'll have him back in 2 months. No, I'm not coming back.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, they were pushing drinks. They had like 8 waitresses out there an hour before the show was supposed to start. So they had those waitresses out there pushing drinks for like 2 hours. I know we spent like at least $200 on alcohol before the show started, or before the show was supposed to start. And then, we're just
ripped.
No, it's just they were really expensive drinks. And it's like we didn't even realize that it had been an hour. And one of the people next to us goes, are they starting late? And I was like, oh, I don't know. And they were like, well, it's like 45 minutes past the hour. And I was like, wait, I wonder what the hell's going on. Yeah, Pauly Shore will not be performing tonight because of stomach pains. Fucker. Fucker. Yeah, I'm Pat 2 drink minimum. Howie Mandel's good. But I didn't get to get out a lot then. I didn't. I was so damn busy. I never got to get out a lot. But you hear about getting back to Cliff Simon. You hear about those people that love doing the conventions. And it's just like that's so cool because they love what they get to do, and they stay humble. I'm going to be at a convention. Holy shit. Really, and that's, I don't know. That's so much better to me than the people that get the big billing. And it's people like him that I really appreciate seeing as a villain and seeing in TV and seeing in film. And then you get, someone like Tom Cruise. Show me the money.
Well, that's because Loki always likes the villain.
I do. I definitely do. And I love Ball, man. I loved Ball and Stargate. Bocce. Ball as in Bocce. Great guy. And they always ripped on him. Every pun, everything. It's been done to death. Who? Yeah. Lord, you?
Wow. Oh, man.
Dial the Gate on YouTube
happiness.
Sunday tribute show. Ball was scheduled to be live. Son of a bitch, man.
Oh, man.
Well, I think that is, guys, that's going to be the end. I hate to leave it on a low note. I just, man, I would have loved to meet him. I really would. I've not gotten to go to too many conventions in my life, and I never got to go to a Stargate convention. I've never seen anyone from Stargate at a convention. But I would have really liked to meet him. I would have. He's one of those villains that you just love to hate him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was so evil.
He was great at it.
Almost like you expected him to have a mustache that he was twirling. You know? Almost
Yeah.
that bad. So thank you, Purple Valkyrie, for being here today. Thank you, Dave Bob. Thank you, Reina Creole, and
Thank you.
Thank you for
welcome.
having us.
Yeah.
And everybody. You have a great weekend. It sucks about Cliff, but try and have a great weekend. And we will be back Monday. I don't know. I'm looking at my schedule real quick. Got it somewhere. Before we go, does any of y'all have anything you want to promote?
Yeah, 12 noon today on my lunch table show, which I co-host with Fat Steven Seagal. We will have Final Death Star as our special guest. So you can come get to know him. And we're also going to discuss the news of Benedict Cumberbatch saying, no, I'm not interested in playing Thrawn. So please come and check that out. And then, of course, on Sunday, I have my Welcome to Florida live stream where we're going to be breaking down all the craziness that broke out at the Disney stockholders meeting this past Tuesday.
Ooh, oh man, I so wanted to be a fly on that wall.
Oh man.
I so wanted to be a fly on that wall. When they go after him over the Gina thing, I was like, ooh, dude. And then he dodged it. He was like, no, I ain't gonna talk about that.
Dude, I almost fell asleep because you had so many people like, oh my God, it's so good to meet you. And they're just like kissing ass and blowing smoke. And then you get there's a conservative blacklist. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm awake now.
I'm awake now. Hello.
Oh my goodness. It's perfect.
Shit's getting real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shit's getting real.
So that's all I have. And as always, it's great being here with you guys.
Oh,
and the chat.
It is. Thank you all. Purple, anything going on for y'all? I know you guys got a stream coming up in less than an hour.
We do, yeah. So Sammy and I will be having our Friday show. We're talking about the Universal Studios Dark Universe that they just cannot get off the ground, even though they keep trying. And Sunday we're gonna finish off with a retrospective of WandaVision.
Oh, nice. Nice. All right. And I do believe I am guesting on that. Yes? Am I guesting on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So that's Saturday?
Sunday. That'll be Sunday.
Sunday. Cool.
Okay.
Sunday. Awesome. Well, I will be there to talk about some WandaVision.
Well, if my laptop is working, I'll try to be there. I'm taking a week off for my birthday starting today.
Nice.
Yes. Happy birthday, Dave Bob.
Yes.
Happy birthday, brother. Megs, I agree. I hate ass kissers and peggers too. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, it was pathetic.
I was so surprised that question got through.
Yeah, me too. I'm just like,
that's not
doing it.
That's not what he told them. He was the other. What question do you have? Oh, this is the question I got. Oh, that's great. We'll see if we can get you on. Huh?
I know.
Yeah.
It's so freaking easy to like, like, yeah, I'm gonna ask this particular question, and you get in there and you ask something different. Happens on talk shows every time.
Yep. Yes, it does. All right, guys. Well, we are at the end. We are over an hour now. We will see you all next Monday. Thank you so very much, panel. Thank you, Purple, Dave, Bob, Reina Creole. Thank you all so much. Thank you, chat, for hanging out with us and talking about Christopher Nolan movies and talking about the death of Cliff Simon. God, he will be missed. He was a wonderful villain on Stargate. He could have been in so much more. I would have loved to see him in more. Everybody take care, and we will catch you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.